to Italy and I've gone for pizza, the ones that's not Neapolitan, they just like cut it in squares and then weigh it, and that's how you buy it.
Yeah, okay.
Lad, you are breathing so heavy.
Hello? It should. My dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front
That's
porch. It is.
I'm like 5 minutes away from home. Don't worry, I'll clean it.
You sure? I feel it. I feel terrible. You know what I mean?
No, it's alright.
You just had a proper sloppy shit. I can't even pick it up with a poo bag. Know what I mean?
Hey, fellow Scouser Paddy Pimblett just defeated Michael Chandler at UFC 314 on the weekend in absolute epic fashion and proved a lot of people wrong. He TKO'd Chandler in the third round with ground and pound, 12-6 elbows. My prediction was a third round submission for Paddy, but he got it done regardless. So in this video, we're going to do a quick breakdown of the fight and also talk about the problem with Paddy Pimblett. So first round, in the first 30 seconds of the fight, Paddy starts with 3 hard low kicks, and as Chandler comes in hot and heavy, ready to blitz Paddy with some overhand rights and some left and right hooks, Paddy threatens the uppercut on Chandler, which makes him hesitant to take Paddy down. But Paddy throws a kick and Chandler catches him off balance, and Chandler's able to get the body lock and slams Paddy down on the canvas. But Paddy does a great job at getting back to his feet every time. Then as they're circling back to the centre of the cage, Paddy throws a low kick and Chandler lands a perfectly timed right hand on Paddy, right on the chin, and it snapped Paddy's head back. I jumped out of my chair and went, oh damn! But Paddy took it and he wasn't fazed. We all know what he says.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out.
Paddy the Baddy. The fight was entertaining. You know, he was almost hurt. He says he's a sorcerer. They don't get knocked out. Ended up finishing his opponent.
And then Paddy takes the fight to Chandler, and one of Paddy's best weapons is that jump and switch kick that he does, which we started to see him do at the end of round 1. Now, going into round 2, Paddy started letting his hands go, particularly the jab and the uppercuts, as Chandler closed the distance. Chandler got the takedowns, but Paddy stood back up pretty easily, and Chandler also got Paddy's back, but Paddy reversed it and then took Chandler's back late in round 2, and he landed some nasty elbows. Paddy also threatened the choke a few times. The tides were starting to turn. Then round 3, the momentum really started shifting in Paddy's direction. Paddy lands a big knee 20 seconds into round 3, which cuts Chandler open on the cheek. Paddy chases Chandler down, throws the switch jumping kicks again. Chandler's in survival mode. Paddy goes in for the single leg on Chandler, and from this, Paddy's able to grab Chandler's leg, rag him over to the fence, get the body lock on him, and just absolutely maul Chandler. Now, we know how good of a wrestler Chandler is, yet he got absolutely dominated on the ground, and he's shown no ability to scramble or to create space. I personally think it was because he was gassed out and just beaten up. And once Paddy started raining down those 12-6 elbows, it was over for Chandler. Now, just a quick one. A lot of people are talking about how Chandler is done and he was never that good. But a lot of people have short-term memories. Chandler has just went the distance with Charles Oliveira like 5-6 months ago. No one really goes the distance with Charles Oliveira. So let's not pretend that Chandler is washed up. I just think people didn't realise how good Paddy is. Right now, onto the problem with Paddy Pimblett. I'm sure you're curious to hear what I'm going to say, especially as a Scouser myself. Am I going to stab another Scouser in the back? Loyalty. So first off, just hear me out before commenting something silly. So I think it's safe to say that we know Paddy is good, especially after this Chandler win. But how good is he? Really? I'm seeing a lot of people say that they don't see him beating the top 5 like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Arman Tarazukian, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. I mean, these are absolute killers. But a lot of people said that Paddy Pimblett wouldn't have broke the top 10. In fact, when Paddy first came into the UFC, I'm a Paddy Pimblett fan, but even I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh my days, he's in the lightweight division. That's murderer's row. How's he going to do? Like, I'm worried for him. But he's progressed and got better. And now he's ranked number 7 in the world, which is fucking amazing. If you go and watch the fight, in fact, I'll just lay a clip over me talking right now. Look how awkward his style is. He's very awkward and difficult to beat. He kind of walks you down like RoboCop. Like his hands are out here, almost Thai style, but very, very low. It's kind of like he's riding a motorbike like this. I mean, which is good because his hands are out there. They don't have to travel as much of a distance to punch you. But also, if you shoot a takedown on him, his hands are already quite low to grab you. Now, the only problem is he does fight with his chin a little bit high up in the air, and has his hands down, but I guess he's got a good shin. He can get away with it, and he's only been caught clean like a few times. So I know everything works until it doesn't. That's maybe something we can look out for, but so far, so good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And one thing I've learned from watching Paddy Pimblett fights is he's winning these stand-up exchanges without really doing that much. He kind of just stands there and makes his opponents freeze. Like, when have we ever seen Michael Chandler not throw big bombs? Never. However, against Paddy, nothing. He's just frozen. He landed one big clean shot and that was it. And I think it's just the awkward nature of Paddy's style. And I'm not saying this in a bad way either, I'm saying it in a good way. He's got a very unorthodox stance and a very unorthodox way of striking, but the guy can strike. You see him when he gets close in those inside exchanges. He's got good boxing. I've always said one of Paddy's strengths is his kicks. We've seen a few low kicks in this fight, but Paddy can throw some decent head kicks. He's got good leg dexterity, and you know, that's something I'm looking forward to seeing more from Paddy. But anyway, back to the problem. What happens when Paddy goes up against someone who's a technical power puncher like Justin Gaethje, or a strong, explosive, fast twitch Thai fighter like Rafael Fiziev, or someone who can do it all like Charles Oliveira, Arman Tarizukian, Islam Makhachev? You see, there's always going to be that next challenge for Paddy that he's going to have to prove people wrong about. People are never really going to think he's legit until he's passed the next test, and then the test after that, and the test after that. It's kind of like the Conor McGregor storyline. Oh yeah, just wait until he goes up against a short, stocky wrestler, Chad Mendes. Just wait until he goes up against a champion, fast twitch Brazilian with crazy low kicks, Jose Aldo. Oh yeah, well just wait until he goes to lightweight against a dirty boxer, Eddie Alvarez. And then obviously Conor met Khabib, and we all know how that went. But you get me point. I think in Paddy's storyline, he's always going to have those doubters, and that's because of his personality, because he's very outspoken and he's very polarizing, and a lot of people don't like the accent. Trust me, I know how that feels. People will always doubt him, and he will always have to prove himself with the next opponent. A recent example was Alex Pereira. Everyone was saying, yeah, we'll just wait until he fights a wrestler, Magomed Ankalaev, and then Magomed Ankalaev outstruck Pereira. But Paddy has kind of shown that he's a bit of a problem to deal with on the feet and on the ground. He kind of looks decent everywhere. Now, the other problem with Paddy Pimblett, well, it's not really the right way to word it, but that's what we've called the title. You get where I'm going with this, is that by the time Paddy fights the top 5 in the lightweight division, even if he wins, I think people are going to try and dismiss those wins and say, oh yeah, well, he beat Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje was past his prime, or he beat Charles Oliveira, but Oliveira hasn't looked good since 2023. But Paddy said exactly that himself in his post-fight interview.
Do you think this is the performance that's going to silence some of those critics?
Probably not, lad. You know what I mean? Every fight I have, the goalposts get moved. It's one of them. I'm used to it. I said it before the fight. Once I beat him, people will be like, oh, he was 2-4 in the UFC, he's washed, he's 38. So they'll probably say the same, but I don't give a flying fuck. I'm going to be ranked 7 on Monday, so suck it.
Also, another alternative narrative, and this isn't me saying this is me just reporting on what I was seeing. Paddy Pimblett's last 3 UFC opponents have a combined losing streak of 13 fights, including Michael Chandler. So up to now, you can make the argument that his opponents have all been on the back end of their careers with a lot of losses in recent times. And I mean, I guess that's a pretty valid argument. If it was playing devil's advocate, I'd say Paddy can only fight the people that he's given. That's it. He's not picking and choosing his fights. He's fighting legit fighters with a lot of experience, and he's kind of making it look easy. He's not going in there with old, weathered fighters who are on losing streaks and then having wars with them where he's barely scraping by on a split decision. No, he's beating them in dominant fashion. Now, can I see him beating Islam Makhachev? I don't know. Even though he's just beat Michael Chandler, number 7, it's still early days yet. I think the next couple fights from Paddy are going to tell us a lot. So we got to see how those fights pan out. And in that lightweight division, he's got a bunch of absolute killers in front of him. I mean, maybe even the Conor McGregor fight. We seen Conor McGregor bet 500 grand on Michael Chandler to win, and Paddy wasn't too happy with that. It was kind of funny, like.
And even McGregor putting money on Chandler to win, lad. Like, the Irish Scouse connection, lad, he's meant to back me. And he never. So, if he wants it, he'll get muftied as well.
Paddy took it in good spirits, to be honest. But yeah, that lightweight division, probably the toughest division in the UFC. So he's got his work cut out for him. However, Paddy is getting better from fight to fight, and I do think he's a lot better than people realise, and his style is pretty deceiving. So I think going into Paddy's next fight, he's going to have a lot less doubters, but I do think regardless of whoever Paddy beats, he's still going to have those doubters, those haters, and those naysayers. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you'll like this one. I've just uploaded a new video onto my fitness channel. I'm trying to upload a little bit more on that every single week now, and if you want to get in great shape this summer, check out my Apex Athlete app down below. I've just uploaded new programs to it, and I've got new membership options as well. Okay, I appreciate you all. See you on the next one.